Team Informatics is pleased to announce the release of AutoRecords for M-Files. This enterprise-class records and retention management software is available as a tightly integrated Vault application for all M-Files customers. AutoRecords provides the tools needed to easily meet compliance goals within the organization, and as the name suggests, AutoRecords maintains compliance using a powerful automated engine which makes the job of staying in compliance much easier for the records manager and the entire organization. Team Informatics AutoRecords leverages native M-Files capabilities to give records managers unprecedented visibility into every scheduled event in the system. The records management event determines what actions will take place and when those actions will be performed. Drilling into the M-File structure, authorized users can easily see pending records management events. At the heart of the AutoRecords system is the retention category property. This property can be assigned to any M-Files object, and once assigned, AutoRecords evaluates the rules behind the retention category to create retention events for the object. Using powerful M-Files features to derive, inherit, and assign metadata, this can all happen automatically. Here we can see that if we add a financial statement to the system, the retention category is automatically assigned, eliminating the need for the user to perform that action. We'll assign a document date and create the document. Going back to our home, we'll see that AutoRecords is hard at work creating a records management event for the financial statements we just added. If we look closely, we can see that the event is to delete 7 years after the document date, but the records management event date is not exactly 7 years into the future. Instead, it's 7 fiscal years into the future. AutoRecords relies on a few simple configurations to achieve these powerful results. Let's take a closer look now at some of the configurations necessary to make this happen. Looking at the event template we just saw, delete 7 years after document date, we find that the trigger is document date less than or equal to the current date. The period is 7 end of fiscal years, and the action is set deleted flag. These three properties work together to form the heart of the AutoRecords system. A trigger is just a metadata property and a comparison to some value. Once that trigger is met, then the system is going to wait for some period, in this case 7 end of fiscal years, and then after that period of time it's going to perform some action. We'll get into these in more detail in just a moment, but notice that we can have more than one trigger. So in this case, the document date is less than or equal to the current date, and it has been marked for archiving, and once that is true, then we will begin our counter and wait for 7 fiscal years. And likewise, we can add multiple actions so that we can have a vital review after the delete flag, or we can move it up and have it performed before the delete flag. In this way, a non-technical records manager can easily string together actions without needing to build complex workflows. Taking a closer look now at some of the other configurations, we see that periods are just a number and then some duration. Days, weeks, months, years are self-explanatory. The end of fiscal years and others need a little explanation. In this case, what we want to happen is all documents to have some action performed at the end of the fiscal year. Whether they were created in January, October, or June, they would all have the action performed at the exact same time. And we can have that for month-end document, year-end documents, or obviously week-end documents. The records manager just sets up the periods they need, and once all the periods are set up, they go back and configure the triggers. Looking at the trigger we used, you can see that the document date is less than or equal to the current date. The trigger property can be any property in the mFiles system, whether it's a date, a Boolean, or a string value, and then it can be compared using standard comparisons to some value. And there are some special values such as current date to allow Records Manager to evaluate current date and even do math if necessary. Once the triggers are set up, the Records Manager can go back and configure the action templates. Actions are used to perform some action on the system, and they merely point to a workflow within the system. By leveraging mFiles workflows, the system is fully extensible, so virtually any conceivable operation can be performed. Once the action templates are created, the Records Manager can go back and create event templates and link those event templates to retention categories. Retention categories link the records management configurations to mFiles objects. This gives a Records Manager the flexibility to combine multiple events and allows for easy reuse of events. It also provides a place for attaching custom metadata for grouping. In this case, the Records Manager has used country, so this particular retention category would be limited to country. Other Records Managers may use retention series or any other grouping structure in their organization. As with other areas of the system, the Records Manager has the ability to add more than one records management event. So in this case, we may want to have a review after archive for 1 year. This gives a non-technical Records Manager tremendous flexibility in stringing together events without the need to build complex workflows. In addition to being easy to configure, AutoRecords' tight integration with mFiles provides tremendous visibility into records management actions that are occurring on the system using standard mFiles functionality. For example, a Records Manager may have created a hold, and using standard views, we can take a look at any holds that are out there and drill into them to see the documents that are affected. And equally as important is the fact that the records management tools apply to both document and non-document objects, so creating physical records is exactly the same as creating electronic records. By combining the mFiles technology with Team Informatics AutoRecords solution, an enterprise is able to realize truly world-class records management. For more information, please contact Team Informatics.